at the Premier Sports Campus of Lakewood Ranch and here in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. It's the 2019 USAFL National Championships as they continue here on ESPN3. We're going to change gears here as we have the Women's Division I National Championships. It's the three-time defending champion San Francisco Iron Maidens and the Seattle Grizzlies. This is a rematch of last year's grand final between the two sides. The Maidens won 20-0 last year. The Grizzlies looking for revenge. Brian Barish back here with you, and a man who has called a lot of footy across not only today but back in Victoria. He does for RSN Carnival in Australia, back in Melbourne. Peter Holden. Pete, women's football has grown at an accelerated pace, especially here in the USA.
Absolutely, and as we've seen the rise of the Seattle Grizzlies, just 3 years ago, 2016, we're here for the national tournament. They won in Division 2 with just 6 players teamed up with the Portland Sockeyes. Then the next year, they'd filled their own D1 team. They made the grand final last year. Now a rematch with the San Francisco Iron Maidens. Can they go one better?
Yeah, we'll see if they can do that. And last year, the Grizzlies, they had a tough go with it because they were missing a couple of players off the bench. But now they have a little bit fuller of a bench. It's still relatively short compared to the Maidens. But as we've seen heading into this, a lot of people were tipping San Francisco to go the distance here fairly easily. It's been anything but, and there's been at least 3 other teams, including the Grizzlies, that have tried to hunt them down.
Exactly. They had a big early win against Denver, and everyone thought, oh, this is going to be one-sided. But we must remember that was a rookie Denver side. A lot of new players on that team. Then at the late game on Saturday, they took on Seattle in that matchup, and the score was 2-0. That's not a soccer score. That's very unusual in Aussie rules. It was a slugfest, and I think more than anything, it gave Seattle heart, and it shocked the heck out of San Francisco.
Let's get some players to watch from the boundary rider for our game from the Portland Sockeyes, Lawrence Konechny. Who should we look out for in this game, Schnitz?
Yeah, thanks, guys. So as you said, Seattle coming in with a few more subs on their bench now. They are still a little short on numbers, but every single player on that team is a weapon. Al Leonard in there through the middle. Obviously, April Lewis coming over from some time with Essendon in their VFLW. Valerie Barbara-Axelm out here on the wing. San Francisco side, I want to keep an eye on their forward line. Caitlin Lutz has been taking a lot of great marks, getting some great kicks off. Obviously, Brett Brower is back, and then through the middle, Pendinuan doing the work in the ruck.
And we wait for the hooter. We are underway here on ESPN, the Women's Division 1 Grand Final for 2019 here at Lakewood Ranch. Pendinuan versus April Lewis. One up by Nguyen. Quickly came away with the football there. Was the 20 and Alison Leonard. Try to work it backwards around the half-back flank. Back to Amelia Carr. Pressure coming at her. Got to get through the traffic. She got caught, but got her kick away. Head in the Lewis direction. Went out the back door. Now they're creating some run here, the Seattle Grizzlies, as they go over the head of Bo. Mark taken here at centre half forward. They're around about 65, 70 metres out from home. Too far to score. Need a forward option. Valerie Barbara-Axelm's available on the half-forward flank. They don't quite go in that direction. Ball floating through the air. Colin went for it. Look out, here comes trouble. Managed to get the hand pass away? No, according to the umpire. You took too long. And Rachel Blum has the resulting free kick at centre half-forward for the Grizzlies.
They've been very excited about young Rachel Blum, number 35, the rookie. She is a gridiron player, and she's told to play on. The shot is on the way. It's heading towards the sticks. Nice mark at the back by Katie Klatt. Played last 2 years at VFLW for the Muggers of Melbourne University. Plays that one up on the far side, and that one is kept in play. That is Bika Weinert there, number 53 from Germany. She handballs it in front of the tent, and as they go forward, we have a free kick, and Seattle is going to have a pretty good chance here. I didn't see what that was for there, Pete. You might have caught that.
He might have caught a throw on that.
In fact, he has. So, free kick from the pocket. Long kick in towards the sticks. And that one is knocked down. Umpire says play on, cleared out of the back. Bo is keeping vigil, picked up, looking for Peterson. There is Marion Dickinson, and Dickinson is flattened. Peterson, left-footed kick towards the sticks, but right there is Meg Leone, who usually plays in the ruck, but she's right there to step last line of the defense. No score here in the opening couple of minutes.
The one thing we've seen for the women's game this Nationals, all have been seen to have a goalkeeper-type role, someone on the last line of defense, and it's been handy on many occasions. Coming with the football now, Sarah Maguillone comes to the broadcast side, out towards the wing on front of the Coopers logo. Amelia Carr was nearby, and here comes trouble. Absolutely caught her opponent cold, and the umpire says that's dropping the football, Francesca Mania, and Amelia Carr gets the resulting free kick.
And just like Tracy Chapman, Seattle has a fast car, Amelia Carr.
Gets on the right boot, goes towards the half-forward flank. Nice floating kick, but marked very well and adjudged to be taken by Margaret Leone. Leone now has the football, half-back flank, broadcast side, here on ESPN, Women's Division 1 Grand Final. Goes in towards the middle of the ground, looking for Panda Nguyen. Front position by April Lewis. Ball hit the deck. Alison Lennon tries to go and pick it up. She's being harassed by Stoll Lane. Ball still in the middle of the ground. Annika Stoll Lane goes after the football. Haunches over it, gets it, almost throws. It was bobbling around. Julia Marks under all kinds of pressure. Squashed by April Lewis. And the umpire says, I may need a shovel to scrape her off the ground, and then she can have a free kick.
Schnitz, we were talking about Katie Clatton, VFLW. April Lewis from the Seattle Grizzlies, number 14, plays for Essendon of VFLW. What does she bring to the game?
Yeah, I think both players on both sides, what you're going to see is a lot of composure. And Seattle has come out with guns blazing, and Katie Clyde has taken up some of the work in the back line there to say, calm it down, I got this, let's take some good marks, let's play some clean footy. That's where we shine.
Ball up on the far side now, sent in high. San Francisco parried away an early Grizzly attack. This is a much different Grizzly team from a year ago as Tegan Hamilton went in there. Jessica Estrada Finley, and the umpire says, give that to me and I will ball this up. He tosses it to the heavens and the good Lord says, go after it, my daughters, and play footy. And here comes Latia Holmes. Gus got it away quickly, sending that one forward. There is Charlotte Mann sending that one forward, and here come the Grizz. A little by Johnson. Now here's Dickinson, who had to go back, break pressure. She's taken down, no call. And then a handball up again looking for Mann, and she's hauled down. And the ball in there is harder than, well, a block of granite, and we'll have a ball up directly across from us. Women's Division I Grand Final, no score here in the opening minutes.
It's tough and rough football out there. It's exactly the way we like it. Going through Sarah Maguillon, maybe held without it. Hurry kick forward by Gallagher, tries to go inside 50, trying to find Brett Bauer, immediately caught by Amelia Carr, and the umpire calls for a ball up. And we'll reset play 50 metres out from goal. It's actually the Iron Maidens, believe it or not. They're meant to have the scoring end towards the left, but if we see the flags in the distance, they're almost flaccid. They're not blowing to the left like they have been for most of the weekend. Ball in front of the sponsors' side. Just a little kick on the ground. Going in there to pick it up is Stephanie Peterson. Couldn't quite squeeze it out, but the Grizzlies do have the football. A kick towards Valerie Barber-Axthelm. Takes it, gives the don't argue, says, get out of my way. I see a player on here on the wing position. Broadcast side. Alison Lennon goes to pick it up. Leonard now has a player on at the half-forward flank. They're breaking wide and they're breaking well. And the ball is almost close to the boundary line. Just keeping it in there. Marissa Poorboy sneaks it in towards the pocket. Charging ahead there is Corey Ho. Ho hasn't got much on. Has to go for home. And it's just away to the right. Minor score, but Seattle are in front. The Grizzlies, Seattle, one behind. No score for San Francisco.
That was Amanda Bowe, picked up the ball. Great vision by her. She was all by herself to put the ball down for Poorboy. That is the first point scored by the Grizzlies against the Iron Maidens in 4 games at Nationals. Unbelievable, but they have the 1-0 lead. There's the kick in, comes up to the near side. Chasing after it is Sarah Maguillon, and she will see the ball out of bounds. Talk about Mags, because this is a player, Schnitz, who has been around for a while. She's moved out of the area, but she gives a great bit of speed to the Iron Maidens.
Yeah, absolutely. Maguillon, along with some of the other veterans in San Francisco, they heard rumors of them retiring. They always come back. And what they bring is that composure around the ball, that speed, and when they get their hands on it, it's going to be a clean possession, clean disposal.
Just like Mark Twain, rumors of my retirement are greatly exaggerated as they come out to the near side, and everyone goes down mushroom farming as there is Savannah Green, and they're pounding at the football, working in a coal mine, etc., as Katja Hewitt was in there as well. Ball up will occur in between the wing and center half positions, going forward for Seattle. Valerie Barber-Axthelm, clean bowls Green. Green just got it off the side of the foot. Hewitt tries to knock that one forward. It goes ping balls around. We're playing pinball or ping pong. I'm a ping ball wizard, something along those ilks. Here is Leone right into the shins of Barber-Axthelm. Sends that one inside 50, and it's marked again by Klatt, but it's not paid. She's going to play it out to the near side. Long kick up the near side from Katie Klatt, and it will go out of bounds and out for a boundary throw-in.
Now, for those that might be watching online wondering what happened then, wasn't that a fair catch? No, when Barber-Axthelm kicked the ball, it was touched by an opponent off the boot. Therefore, the umpire called play on, play on, play on. As the ball is thrown back into play, April Lewis with the football. Got it down to Barber-Axthelm, going absolutely nowhere. Caught there by Steinberg. In goes April Lewis. Crunch! Panda Nguyen just put her in the ground. Said, thanks for coming. Through goes Elise Gallagher. Goes towards the half-forward flank. Coming at it was Millie. Don't bring me down. Bruce went after the football. The umpire says, holding when you do not have the football. And that's a free kick going to Alessandra Alcosa. She has the ball at the halfback flank for the Seattle Grizzlies.
Match analyst Lawrence Konechny.
Yeah, seeing a little bit of panic out of San Francisco. It's not you're not used to seeing them on the back foot like this, but Seattle has come out. They're hitting hard. They're getting clean possessions, and they're sweeping through the sidelines. getting those hand passes onto the boot, kicking it down to their end of the field.
San Francisco trying to move the ball forward, but it's all Seattle here. And down she goes, and she is G-O-N-E, gone. And it's Mama Julie Marks. She finds Maguione, and now the Maidens are moving forward. This is what they're known for. It'll bounce in front. Alcocer and Bruce in the boundary line. Now here comes Estrada Finley, and the ball goes out of bounds in front of Jess Estrada Finley. Seattle 1, San Francisco nothing. As we mentioned, last year they actually played twice at Nationals, and they played once yesterday. San Francisco winning 2-0 in that slugfest. Last year it was 20-0. San Francisco winning in the grand final here on ESPN3. Here is Holmes. Holmes went after the football. She sits on it, now tries to get up. Bruce says, you're going to have a seat, and we'll have a ball up in the pocket.
And nothing should ever be taken for granted. We know in the Women's Division 2 Grand Final played a couple of hours earlier, it was the DC Eagles that led all day until a minute and a half to go when a goal to Philadelphia Hawks put them 5 points up, and they went on to take out the Women's D2 Premiership. Coming in there, Latia Holmes puts the wheel clamp on, and the umpire says her opponent was throwing the ball, so Latia Holmes, have a free kick for your troubles.
From Fife, Washington. She was a track star at Washington State University a long time ago, and boy, has she added a great bit of speed to the defense here for the Grizzlies. And she kicked that, but right into the player on the mark in Estrada Finley, but then shakes off Jess Estrada Finley. Long pass. Almost taking that one was Marks, but now out of the back. Here is Johnson. She sends that one forward, but it's another great smother. Leone, and now in the middle of the ground. This one will be kicked in the middle. Coming back to get it is Amanda Bowe. Bowe with a long handball, but it's not effective. But San Francisco is there. That's going to be a throw, I believe. No, it's high tackle, in fact, and it will be a free kick. Dangerous turnover there, and 35 for San Francisco. Looks like Francesca Manea. So here is Manea. She might be at the edge of her reality, and now the wind is blowing towards that side of the field. So here's Manea. Yep.
I was going to say, just looking for Brett Brower. Here comes the lead now.
Here we go, looking for Brower. The kick is on the way. It is going to fall short, and it's marked! Jess Estrada Finley with a great mark, as she was absolutely fearless. And now she'll go back, and here is a veteran of 2 international cups.
The big game player.
She is a big game player, and she's one of the reasons why the Maidens have won 3 in a row and looking for 4. Being eyed down by Latia Holmes, and that one goes off the side of the book. It takes an off break, stays in the field of play. As Estrada Finley gets it again, she's taken down, and the ball is locked in there. Talk about Jess Finley Schnitz, because she's been around a long time, and she really brings that something extra to the side.
Yeah, one of their more reliable players. A bit of a shock to see her miss that one, but that just shows you the strength of Seattle's backs. They get in your head, they scare you, and they can throw you off your game, and you do not want to give them time to get rid of it, because they will clear it out.
Latia Holmes got it across to Dickinson, who tried to come out of the back 50, but a mark taken here by the Iron Maidens. Far side of the ground. Looks like it might be Julia Marks from a distance with the football. She'll be kicking from about 55 metres out. Will not get the distance. Will need a lead. Brower's lurking nearby. So is Estrada Finlay. Ball floats away from both of them. Drop mark. Estrada Finlay's got it. She's swarmed upon by a pack of Grizzlies. And again, the defence holds up. Alcocer comes out, and they take a mark. I tell you what, the Grizzlies' defence at the moment, it's like a vice. It's squeezing San Francisco.
And they're trying to get some juice out of this game. As it's been point of fact, they lead 1-0 here midway through the first half. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden and Lauren Skonechny here on ESPN3, the Women's Division 1 Grand Final. Don't forget, we have one after this, the Men's D1 Grand Final, Austin and Denver. But here in the here and now, the ball is on the sponsor side, over on the gallery here. Nice mark taken over the top there by Blum, and she's really stepped up nicely. Now she's got 7 seconds, give or take, to make up her mind with what she wants to do. And she's told to play on. She has an option in Peterson. She's going to send that one up the right side, up the left side, off the hands of Lewis. Continued. That was a long kick in, and now going back to get it. Scrambling back there. In there was Claire Colleran, the Irish import for San Francisco. Big hit in there, and the ball comes loose. Ball goes into the middle of the ground now. Here comes again Colleran. She'll wheel around with that Gaelic kick. It's a long stop. It's stopped by Latia Holmes, and there are 3 blue, silver, and orange jumpers in there to wrap it up. Again on the scoreboard, Seattle 1, San Francisco 0, Championship Division 1.
here at the USAFL Nationals as the umpire throws the ball high in the air. Punch forward by Latia Holmes, taken away by, looks like Peterson, trying to get a hurried hand pass going. April Lewis comes from out of nowhere. In fact, laying on the tackle was Gordine. Now the ball is squeezed out. Marks here for San Francisco. Foot race on. Barbara Axelm versus Estrada Finlay. Estrada Finlay, can she get there before it goes out of bounds? Barbara Axelm going with her. Estrada Finlay keeps it alive. Swings around on the boot. It's the smart option. It finds the mark. The umpire said no 15. You got to play on. And it's taken away by Amelia Carr, and again the Grizzlies dodge a bullet. Now this time it's taken by Sarah Maguillone, goes with a long hand pass, finding her teammate there in Margaret Leone, who goes long towards the top of the goal square. Was looking for Mania, taken away, diving, attempted a mark here. Gordine jumps in, 3 Grizzlies jump over the top. One of them, Alison Leonard, the umpire says going nowhere. Amanda Bow on the bottom of the deck. Let's go down to the snitch, Lawrence Kuznetsny.
Yeah, one thing that you're going to see a lot of Seattle, they have a lot of former soccer players, so they're really good about getting on the right side of the ball and sending it off in a direction where it's going to be very dangerous. So their defense really holding up great here, doing a great job getting it out.
How about that play from Valerie Barber Axthelm? I'll tell you what she lacks in height, she makes up for in being short, but it makes her more aerodynamic along the ground. Ball comes back in the play now, but comes loose. This is Elise Gallagher, who has a Ruse medal to her name. One-on-one contest. Ball goes. No, it's marked. In there was the number 8 in Annika Stoll-Lane, and you might see her very well wearing red, white, and blue. And, of course, we have the USA Freedom team for the IC 2020, which will be announced at halftime of the men's game. So, Stoll-Lane kicks on the way. Is it going to find its way home? No, it's down in front, and it goes over. Scores are level. San Francisco 1, Seattle 1.
All tied up here in the USAFL Women's Division 1 Grand Final. Men's Division 1 between Austin and Denver coming up very soon. In around about half an hour to 45 minutes time. Of course, Brian Barish calling that with the one and only Gorilla, Rodney Gorillasech, as the ball is very close to the boundary line and will be smacked over and out by Amanda Bow. And talking about the Denver Bulldogs, they didn't make the semi-finals. They're in a rebuilding phase with their women. Of course, they hold the record in Women's Division 1 for 6 titles in a row. Should San Francisco win today, they're 2/3 of the way to equaling that record.
Yeah, they'll have 4 in a row. They'll just be behind them. They're the only 2 that have won it. And it's interesting because with the exception of 2008 when Calgary won and 2009 when Milwaukee won, it's been all streaks. Atlanta won in 2005, 6, and 7, and then Denver from 2010 to 2015. And it's been very different over the last couple of years. We'll have a ball up again as, again, there's Meg Leone, and she'll go in, and now one-on-one. That's Panda Win going up against April Lewis, and dropping the pill there, I believe, was Lyra Fernandez. And then, again, the ball will get hold up there. Talk about Meg Leone, Schnitz, because it was interesting because Brett Brower was the ruck. Leone came in, took over the ruck, and then now you have Panda Win to come in, and now the other 2 can play all over the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's really great that Panda Win is in there doing great ruck work. It frees Meg up to be a more dangerous option through the middle and through that half-forward flank roll.
Dickinson looks for the safety of the boundary line, and the ball does go over and out in front of Valerie Barber Axthelm, being watched very closely on that occasion by the player in 24 and Savannah Green. As the ball is thrown back into play, April Lewis wins the tap, but getting to it first is Margaret Leone. Tries to keep the ball alive. It's in the pocket. In comes Alcosa, who wraps up the opponent immediately. Barbara Axthelm gets it across to Amelia Carr. Carr's kick is immediately smothered off the boot. Going in again is Latia Holmes. She's immediately caught. Tries to get a hand pass out to Amelia Carr. She sat on rodeo style. That's not the full 7-second ride, but the umpire said it was legal, and we'll call for a ball up.
Funny how that new rule works. As we'll have it, it's a score. Seattle 1, San Francisco 1. Division 1 Women's Grand Final, United States Australian Football League National Championships. Here is Valerie Barber Axthelm, the mighty axe, up to the near side. It bounces over the head of Win. She's going to have to chase Bow. She holds Bow back, no call. Colleran is in there as well. It squirts out now. Fernandez straight into the knees of the 33 in there, which is Lydia Wilkinson, one of the new pickups for Seattle. They have Lydia and Chelsea Wilkinson, who just came on board for this match, or for this weekend. We'll have a ball up right in front of us. They are brand new rookies, and it's great to see. Ball goes in the air again. Win that battle against April Lewis. This is Gowden, who big tackle put in there, but it was high, just a little high around the shoulders on Rachel Blum, making the tackle on Sarah Maglione.
50-50 call, in my opinion, on that one as they go in towards the middle of the ground. Katie Klatt has found space, and Klatt, formerly of the Sacramento Suns several years ago, goes long and high over the head of Estrada. Getting back there, it is Latia Holmes, draws the player towards her, looks for Godin, tries to go for a hand pass. Mr. Millie, don't bring me down. Bruce got brought down, but got a kick away, only as far as Alcosa, who takes the mark. Alcosa tries to relieve the pressure, gets on the right boot, working it wide. Now trying to find Stephanie Peterson, who's got some space. They're opening it up now on the far side of the ground from our broadcast position. Going after it is Katie Klatt. Ball kicked off the carpet, though. Trying to keep it alive and knock it forward as Ryan Johnson does well. Pickpocketed it, though. Thank you very much. Like a thief in the night, Sarah Maglione had to spin around using marks, going backwards to Klatt. Klatt on the boot. Maglione pushed up the line. Maglione going for a run. Now on the right boot, going towards the Estrada Finlay direction. She's got space on Latia Holmes. Ball bounced awkwardly past her. Latia Holmes has got it. Estrada says, give me that ball! And she did. She took it away. Not before the umpire blew the whistle and says, that's mine, please.
Yeah, that's, oh my goodness. She went in there and she's not afraid to reach in and try and grab the football. And there she did it. But unfortunately, the umpire's whistle came about 2 seconds too late. Ali Alcocer again. It's picked up by Bruce. Bruce goes in. It's marked by Green. Green lines up and kicks for a goal. And there's the first major score of the game. It goes to Savannah Green and the San Francisco Iron Maidens. They go to 1 goal, 1 behind. That's 7 points. Seattle 1 behind. I've been really impressed with Savannah Green. She is eventually, she told me earlier, going to try out for the USA Liberty team. That would be a great addition, someone who is very fast and with a great nose around the goal.
Yeah, one of their smarter recruits that they've gotten in the past few years has a really good sense of when to hold the ball, when to play on, and when to go for goal. She's been racking them up, and she's always fun to watch. Always has a great time.
This is the test right now. We saw a similar battle between San Francisco and Minnesota in the semi-final, where Minnesota held a 2-point lead, held pretty tight in San Francisco for a half, but when the Iron Maidens kicked a goal, the damn wall broke. Will the damn wall break here, or can the Grizzlies respond? Trying to get the kick away on that occasion was Leonard. It was rejected out of her hands. Ball is now at the half back here for the Grizzlies, half forward for the Iron Maidens. Going in over the top was Amelia Carr. Fell into an opponent's back. Accidental was there, but not paid. Tried to get a hand pass out. Elise Gallagher going again and ripped into the ground and rolled over crocodile style. Margaret Leone, the umpire, said there is no prior opportunity. I'll take the football back and I'll restart play.
San Francisco has won 15 games in a row at Nationals, going all the way back to when this streak started in 2016 right here at the Premier Sports Campus at Lakewood Ranch. And we'll have a secondary ball up, I believe, and that is halftime at the football. A very frenetic first 20 minutes here. It only produced 3 scoring shots, but not for the want of action. At halftime, it's the San Francisco Iron Maidens, 1 goal, 1 behind, 7 points. Seattle 1 behind, 1 point only. Halftime thoughts from Warren Skonechny.
Yeah, you know, both teams are playing a style of game that they're not really used to, a lot scrappier, and you can see when they are making effective plays, it's when it's a kick to a mark, clean footy, clean hand passes. Unfortunately, I think they're just both in each other's heads so much that it is on the ground a lot. You're seeing some missed pickups. I think if they can both rein it in, get back to the footy that they know, then we're going to start seeing some more scores.
Absolutely. Once things spread out a little bit, we'll see that. Halftime again, San Francisco 7, Seattle 1. We'll be right back. 2019 USAFL National Championships here on ESPN 3. Back here at the Premier Sports Campus here in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, the 2019 USAFL National Championships, the Women's Division I Grand Final, San Francisco leading Seattle 7-1. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden and Lawrence Skonechny. And Pete, the winds of change have occurred a little bit. The wind is swirling and the sun has come out.
Absolutely. It's getting hot here in Florida as the ball hits the ground. Trying to get in there. Sarah Maglione can't extract the football. The umpire will ask for the ball back. 7-1. San Francisco leads Seattle on the scoreboard. What do the stats look like?
Yeah, in that first half, San Francisco had 8 marks to Seattle 6. And though Seattle had the early sorties forward, San Francisco went inside 50 3 more times than Seattle did, 6-3.
Barbara Axelm got the ball on it. Allison Leonard went into an open inside 50. How's the ball going to sit? Who's going to be first to get it? Beautiful spin out of trouble there by Poor Boy. Got it towards the goal square. Will the ball sit the right way? Tried to go the soccer. Got bumped off the football there was Corey Ho. Couldn't get there. She goes back in for a secondary tackle. The ball, Poor Boy didn't commit to it. April Lewis did. Poor Boy on the left boot. Will it bounce? Will it come back? No, it will not. but it will go through for a minor score. Katie Klatt marked the ball, but behind the goal line. 1 point. That's 2 for Seattle, 7 San Francisco.
Schnitz, that's got to be a very disconcerting sign when you see a player like Katie Klatt lurking around the back line.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, she's been going back there to add a little bit of composure to the team. This is exactly what Seattle needs to do. They need to get it in their forward 50, and they need to keep it there. More shots like that, more opportunities, and lock it in.
Out in the middle of the ground now, they're trying to link something together. They lead by 5 points to the San Francisco Iron Maidens. And we see right in front of us Nicole McKenzie running circles, trying to get a lead. That one is sent forward. Nice mark by Latia Holmes, who has moved up now. She is, whoa, there's a rough smother there, picked up by Marks. Whoop. And someone alert the Sarasota Zoo because I just saw a Shankopotamus. The ball has gone straight out on the full, but Mark's usually a little bit more composed than that, and as she's been around a long time out of the defensive line.
Start to play the Scorpions. The winds have changed because they've picked up and they're blowing to the left-hand side. The Grizzlies have the breeze in the second half. That's got to play some mind games. Katie Klatt at full speed takes the mark and says, I do not acknowledge your existence, and just runs away from everyone. Puts it into the path of Finlay. That is Estrada Finlay, who cannot pick up the football. Stull Lane is there. Went to go tunnel ball style, like it was a medicine ball. Jumping in there, Amelia Carr. And the umpire says, we're not here to play twister. We're here to play football. I'll take it back and reset play.
Lauren Skonechny, how happy are you that you're on this side of the line and not in the middle of that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've played against Katie Klatt in that exact position, and it does not feel good. So it's a lot more pretty to watch from this side of the field.
Brian Johnson with the football now. She is claimed as that one goes down into the middle of the ground and now picked up, and she's hit quickly as Holmes goes after the football pretty fast as well, and we'll have a ball up as we move forward. That is Tegan Hamilton who has the football. Tegan kicks that one on the near side. Stolane is going after it. Dickinson wins it. Oh, no, she didn't keep the ball in play. That was awfully close. But, in fact, Marion Dickinson, who had a lot of possessions, it seems like every time we see her play, she has like 20 possessions in a 40-minute game.
I should explain what happened with Tegan Hamilton. She correctly disposed of the ball, but her opponent then threw it into the ground after she got rid of it. That was the free kick.
And that reversed the free kick there as that one goes in. Stolane has it, and a big tackle in there by Allie Alcocer. Schnitz, I know you're really impressed with Ms. Alcocer. She's quick, but she can hit hard as well.
Yeah, exactly. Again, one of the really strong, fairly new recruits for Seattle. She's been around about 3 years now. Her, Al Leonard, those are players that have a really smart game sense, and they have the power in their hits to back it up.
Going after it is Jessica Estrada Finlay. Goes to the hand pass back, trying to find Brett Barrows. Went a long way up the line. Here's a body check coming in from Panda Nguyen. Hand pass by Ryan Johnson. Now trying to find her teammate in Leonard, who got it across to Dickinson. Now it's opening up in the corridors. The foot race is on. Blum chasing after. It's downfield free kick by the look of it. Downfield free kick going the way of the Seattle Grizzlies. And this is going to end up with a player that was closest to the ball. And that's going to be in the hands of the number 5 in Stephanie Peterson. Peterson looks for some options forward. There's nothing in the hole about 40 metres out, so she goes for wide, and she finds Dickinson. Oh, drop what she really should have taken then. She's under pressure, spins around. Dickinson on the right boot going inside 50. Oh, what a mark by Katie Klatt. What a leap. She got higher than a hippie at Woodstock.
Out in the middle of the ground, and just like a pack of cows in a cannabis patch, the stakes are high. That one was kicked down, and that one goes up through the middle of the ground as Barbara Axelm went through her wickets. There's Leonard with the handball now. Oh, big Shepard put in there by Hamilton, and it's picked up now by Gallagher. Finds Green, who can't find the handle. Peterson and Alcocer, they hit her from both sides. Ball goes down. It's on the freshly manicured carpet here in Lakewood Ranch. That'll go through. Katie Klatt is there. She's going to try to pick up the football. She sits on her opponent. That's not terribly comfortable, and we'll have a ball up.
I'll last snitch down the boundary line. These two sides have got some history, not only the last year's grand final and already playing once this Nationals, but they've met several times, including the Cascadia tournament and the Western Regionals.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of heat between these two teams, and you can see it's kind of getting to San Francisco. A couple silly mistakes. Luckily, they have Katie Klatt, the veteran, in there who's saying, let's calm it down, let's clean it up, keep it together.
Cleared out on the far side by by Manea. Kept in play on the far side. Check, that was Fernandez. Barbara Axthelm goes up. She's wrapped up and she's flattened like a pancake, and we'll have a ball up. San Francisco 7, Seattle 2. This has been a much tighter game and a much closer game than it has been over the last couple of seasons. And I'll tell you what, despite the fact that they lost 20-0 last year, Seattle did play San Francisco extremely close, and it was a victory in itself to hold them to just 20 points. Ball is in the middle of the ground once again, and now looking out to the near side, and here they come. Here is Green, I believe, who's going to send that one forward. She got a hand to the face. Oh! Oh, Mackenzie got absolutely cleaned up. And I think that I'm trying to see who the Seattle player is. It looked like Latia Holmes.
That was breakneck speed. There were no brakes on that.
And a lot of speed.
That's some guts, that's some courage. I've seen some big hits, such as the AFL Women's Exhibition game in 2015, Chelsea Randall and Lauren Morkoff, when they both got off the ground when they smashed each other. That is almost as hard, and that's taken some guts to stand up from and walk away from.
And they're going to get a large round of applause from the fans here at the USAFL Nationals that have gathered around the outer here.
May I say, I know a lot of people here love their American football, the NFL, but that, again, was with no pads. That is soft NFL football compared to what you just saw then.
Are you trying to say something, Pete?
I'm saying this is the toughest game on earth.
There we go, and that'll end up being a free kick. The mark here is Leone is going to send that one in, marked defensively, and it's marked nicely again by Al Koser. She'll come out to the far side looking for Tegan Hamilton, and it will roll in front of the player there, not Hamilton, but rather Marion Dickinson, number 9, and we'll have a boundary throw in. I'll tell you what, that was like watching a train wreck. You knew it was going to happen, and it happened, and, well, it happened. Ball comes to ground. Here comes Marks. Little shovel pass to Gallagher. Into the middle of the ground to win. Handball's up over the top, but now picking that one up and just getting that one away. This is Blum. Blum gets it away again. Here is Peterson. Peterson looking up the way for who? Is it going to find the road there? Well, Vikert is going through it. It bops away. Going after it now is Klatt, picked up by Marks. Tried for a dangerous handball. Here comes Katie Klatt. 2 Grizzlies chase her, and she releases through the fingertips there of McKenzie. Picked up by Bo. Bo's going to get thrown to the ground, and she's gone. Big tackle put in there. I'm trying to see who that was, but they'll play on.
And they do so quickly. I think it's Gallagher who goes long with the kick, putting in the direction of Brett Brown. Bounced away from her. Estrada Finlay came chasing up the ball. Latia Holmes went to commit. Estrada Finlay smacks it along the ground. Going after it is Alcosa over around the football. They try to get a hurried snap here, the Iron Maidens, but getting back there is Amelia Carr. She elects to go to the Cooper's stand side of the ground. It's a full beer tent, and why wouldn't it when they're serving delicious Coopers out there as well as Goyden, who had the football, went one way, went the other. Still dancing, still dancing, still dancing. She's got Saturday night fever, and it's a Sunday. She goes across the Bo. Bo now goes up towards the wing position. Long kick, great mark at the back. Katie Klatt used her like a stepladder.
She's been the X factor in this game. She has bailed them out of jail so many times. She's like rich Uncle Pennybags at the moment with get out of jail free cards. That one is sent forward by the Iron Maidens. Nice mark by Amelia Carr. But she's got to get her wheels going now. Not much time left. They trail by 5 points. But that one is picked off. And again, it's Savannah Green. Savvy Green, the California native. She's going to take all the time she can. She can't possibly back herself. What is that movie line? Tell her she's dreaming. Well, she's told to play on because even the umpire doesn't believe her. That's going to go inside, and a nice mark taken again by Latia Holmes, who again, Schnitz, is stepping up in defense for Seattle.
Yeah, playing big time back there. Latia Holmes and Amelia Carr really locking it up in that Seattle defense. Not a lot of shots on goal for either team, and if they make it count, you're in big trouble, so it's great to have those players back there.
Sarah Magione at the football, went towards the half-forward flank position, went again at it on hands and knees, tried to fire out the hand pass, stolen away by the Grizzlies, now put in towards the central corridor. Coming after it again is Katie Klatt, who's been huge across the half-back flank, and Klatt goes wide, trying to find Sarah Magione to run on the football. Support from Margaret Leone. Sarah Magione has to go back and pick it up when Leonard was trying to get some attention at her, and flying through the air at the same time was Marissa Poorboy, who ironed out her opponents, and we're going to call for a ball in on the far side of the ground. If you've just joined us, it's a 5 5-point thriller. San Francisco 7, Seattle 2, but one straight goal from Seattle will change the picture.
This is approaching the classic from 2016 with San Francisco and Denver, and on that day a new champion was crowned. Will that happen here today? There's still a fair bit of time left to decide here as that one goes into the middle of the ground. Not if the maidens have anything to say about that. It bounces away, picked up again as Alcocer. She'll bootleg around and throw that one on the right, and there are two maidens there, and stepping up as Panda Win, and Win's going to take her time, and she's going to step back. Again, she has about 7 seconds or so. She's told to move it on, and she will play it out the far side, where again it's marked by Leone. Leone goes inside 50, marked by Mackenzie, getting away from Bo, and that is a very calming mark for the San Francisco side. It's been a very frenetic game so far. They need to keep possession here if they want to hang on. That one skittles in. It goes off of the knees there of the 8, which is Gowden, and the ball goes out of bounds in that far corridor, and that's exactly what they have to do, Schnitz. They have to maintain possession and calm things down, Ray Chamberlain style.
Yeah, exactly. San Francisco needs to take some time off the clock, and if they can score here, that's going to make it a really steep uphill battle for Seattle, who are still in it with one good play.
Nicole McKenzie with a snap and a mark at the top of the goal square. 15 metres out from goal. Brian, you've got the goggles there.
Annika Stolane.
And, of course, we saw her on the wing position during a game against Denver when she was looking one way and kicked the ball back over her shoulder. So she's got the party tricks. Can she kick one from directly in front? Annika Stolane comes in. It's floating right. It's a minus score. Now, Brian, let's just check something here. If a goal's kicked the other way and the scores are tied at full time, what happens?
Well, there's a lot of umpires within the sound of my voice that can correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's a 5-minute overtime. If there's no one ahead at the end of the 5 minutes, it becomes golden point. They play until there's a winner. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Ball goes to ground, picked up by Marks. They got to get there first, and it's on the other side of the field. Mackenzie had it go off her hands. She goes in the gloved one. Oh, that might be low. Yes, it was. She got legged, and she knows how to use them. It'll be a free kick coming back to Amanda Bowe.
Amanda Bowe with the football at the halfback flank for the Grizzlies. Lawrence Snitch, I got to ask her, is this panic time? Do you hit the button now for the Grizzlies and go the corridor?
I think so. This is the time that you take risks. Do what you know that you can do well. Get those kicks off to some good marks. Lock it in. Just get as many shots on goal as you can. Hope that some that sticks.
That is the Snitch, Lawrence Kosnechny, now Vice President, Western Region of the USAFL. It's Katie Cladd who goes long up the line. Ball is rejected and punched away. Dancing around with it, Dickinson went back to Bowe. Bowe in a nest of Iron Maidens. Oh, it's opened up here. If Johnson could get control of it, she can. Here comes Cladd. Spin me around. That's what she does, and she gets caught. Another player gets dumped in green. Umpire says play on, let it go. Peterson tries to get rid of 2 or 3. Peterson did get rid of them. Got her kick away, but it was intercepted off the side of the boot and straight to Lawrence Kosnechny. I'm surprised you didn't mark that.
That was tempting. I'm trying to stay neutral in this one.
The desperation level has reached a fever pitch here. It's one straight kick the difference, as here is Ali Alcocer looking for a lead. The Jets are scrambled. Kick up over the top. Marked in defense by Elise Gallagher. The cream rises to the top, and Gallagher is going to slow down. If you are San Francisco, you want to keep the ball to the corridor, to the sidelines here. Big boom opera once again, as that was Brower who went after it. She pokes that one forward, picking that one up and running forward as Katie Cladd. Hal's not going to catch her. Big booming kick forward. It clean balls. There's Estrada Finlay. Long handball to a cutting Stolane. And that one, this game is on ice. San Francisco 2-2-14. Seattle 2 straight behind. Schnitz.
Yeah, that's exactly what San Francisco needed to do. They needed to use that composure, and of course, Jessica Estrada Finlay is the one to do it. Great pickup, great heads-up play, and a great finish there for San Francisco.
Just saw April Lewis run back on the ground for the Seattle Grizzlies. She's moving forward. I'm not sure if she's got much juice left in the tank, but if they do, in my opinion, she's got to go on the ball. This is time. You're at Vegas. You got your last chips left. You're betting it all on 0, and you're spinning the wheel as the umpire gets play back underway again. Putting her head over it is Rachel Blum. She's been huge. Get across to Valerie Barber-Axtell. We got it through her leg, then still being held, and the umpire says, yes, you need to let go of her, and she can have a free kick. So Valerie Barber-Axtell Got to get it moving quickly because the time is not her friend. What options does she have up forward? She's probably looking for the likes of Ryan Johnson. There's Marissa Poorboy. That's the questions I'm asking. Her kick is short. It's no good. San Francisco try to hold it in there. Ball lurking around. If she can get in there and get it as Alison Leonard. Can't do so. Barbara Axthelm goes for another shot at it. She's working hard. Hand passes sideways to Peterson. Peterson tries to bust her way through. She got it on the left boot. It's going out towards the pocket. Chasing desperately after the football is Lydia Wilkinson. But it bounces away over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Not much time left here in this Division I Women's Grand Final. The margin is 2 straight kicks. San Francisco leads 14-2 here on ESPN3. Brian Barish with Peter Holden and Lauren Skonechny as we get towards the business end. San Francisco heading towards number 4. Seattle needs a lot to happen in a short amount of time. Holmes with a long handball to Barbara Axthelm, who is wrapped up immediately for Hanukkah. And the Iron Maidens say L'Chaim, and we will have a ball up. Lauren Skonechny.
Yeah, you can tell San Francisco, they're just looking to lock this one in. Almost every single one of their players, -2 in their forward 50. They're just going to eat everything up that comes their way.
What the Snitch is trying to say is the Grizzlies are in more poo than a Werribee duck as the ball is moved in towards the middle of the ground. Dancing around there, it was Nicole McKenzie. Got the hand pass, picked up momentarily by Amelia Carr. Then Latia Holmes is pushed up the ground, takes a bounce. She's trying to run. She's mown down. Gone. Gone. And that's holding the football. That's gone, not Max gone.
That would be just missing a set shot from 15 meters dead in front. Yeah, I said it. As it will have the free kick the other way, and so too might be the Grizzlies. But I'll tell you what, they've played much better, even though the scoreboard doesn't reflect it. The fact that they've, again, are only 2 goals behind, but it might be a bridge too far as that one goes in. Again, they bring that one up. Here is Bo. Long kick. Sliding again was Wilkinson, who threw herself at the football. Fernandez stopped it and then dove back in, going up against Barbara Axthelm, who extracts it. Here is Barbara Axthelm. She's thrown down, and she is gone as well. And San Francisco is wrapping things up as best as possible here, up by 2 straight kicks.
Brian, I asked you here at Lakewood Ranch 3 years ago on the other field when they beat Denver for the first time. Then in the 2 following grand finals, I'll ask you again, is the cup going to San Francisco?
Sure, except I'm not going to sing it in front of all these people as we go back. And, yeah, I'll tell you what, a lot of questions here. As much as we saw Schnitz, as much as we saw the Iron Maidens, we saw them as favorites. This weekend had us ask a lot of questions. They're providing the answers.
Yeah, exactly. Although you got to wonder what a different ball game it would be without Katie Klatt, who brought in a lot of that composure and got the ball out. I think if you don't have her there, I think it's a much different game. And if she moves on next year, that's going to open things up.
Yeah, you do mention Katie Klatt. Of course, she is relocating, I believe, to Boston in the northeast of the state. So I wonder who will land her services come the 2020 USAFL Nationals. As the ball's on the far side of the ground, locked in there. Barbara Axon tries to bust her way through again, trying to get support by Rachel Blum. The ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. We're ticking away. They're lowering the coffin into the ground. This one is almost done.
Talking about Katie Klatt, here's a player who played for a very hardy Sacramento football club, took the step back to Division II. The fact that she gets to play on the big stage here in Division I and may win it, but this one isn't over by one stretch of the imagination. Seattle scrambling their Jets forward. Long kick in towards Hamilton, or by Dickinson. No, it's picked off in front, ball in the air. Carr picks it, not 15. Amelia Carr off to the side. Handy point. It might be out of reach, but they're still kicking. That takes them to 3 behinds. Seattle goes to 3 points. San Francisco 2-2-14, 11 points the distance.
The question is, can they make an intercept here? If they can, they could set panic stations among San Francisco as the ball is brought back into play. A long kick towards the broadcast side. Half-back flank, flying to the air. Savannah Green, read it best. It floated away from Marianne Dickinson, just like perhaps the Cup has done. It has floated away from Seattle despite all their best intentions and their efforts. Now Savannah Green goes and finds Annika Stoll-Lane. She has made an impression this national championships. Annika Stoll-Lane on the right boot. It's a spiral punt looking for Julia Marks. They call her Mama, the veteran of the side, the spiritual leader, and she almost showed her age and got run down. And then she said, I'm going to kick it into your guts just for payback. And that's what she does. Out to Green. Green now goes to Brett Bauer. Bauer gets the hand pass away under pressure. Trying to get through there was Elise Gallagher, who went to kick it off the ground. Immediately caught as Ryan Johnson. She's going nowhere. And the umpire says, bring the ball back to me and let's recommence play.
I'll tell you what, Julie Marks said to Stephanie Peterson, why am I like Linda Ronstadt? Because I just blew by you. And that is it. And the San Francisco Iron Maidens have won their 4th consecutive USAFL Division I Women's National Championships. What a game this turned out to be. The final score, the Iron Maidens 14, Seattle 3. And I'll tell you what, the Seattle Grizzlies are absolutely spent. They are bereft on the turf because I'll tell you what, they had a lot of hope and a lot of feeling that they had the chance today, but San Francisco too good.
Out of gas in the end, that's what it simply was. That key recruit of Katie Clatt coming to them just gave them the extra legs, particularly crucial along the half-back line when Seattle kept pressing and pressing and pressing.
Yeah, a big win for San Francisco there. They really clung on to that one. And if you're a team like Seattle, like New York, Minnesota, Portland, even a team like D.C. and Sacramento making a run in D1 next year, you got to be seeing some holes in the armor there of San Francisco. Again, some usually reliable play from them. We're seeing some holes in the armor.
All right, that'll do it for here. Thank you, Schnitz. Thank you, Peter. We have one more grand final left, the Division I Men's Grand Final when we come back here on ESPN3.